What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Thanks for tuning into Stock Essentials. We're going to be going over AMC stock today, and it had a pretty crazy day today. Not the move that we were anticipating. It did have a pretty good run up as we thought, but we're expecting a much bigger gain, a much bigger pump up later on in this week. So I'm holding about $10,000 worth of AMC positions. I go over my positions in my previous video, so go check that out. But today, AMC, we're going to be talking about why it's a great time to get into AMC if you aren't already, or you have some extra cash on the sidelines ready to buy into the stock even more. So AMC quickly rose to 20% intraday, and then kind of consolidated, kind of stayed flat the rest of the day. So people who bought calls, they made money early, and then AMC kind of tapered off up and down slightly, and that's not really good for options contracts, especially your out the money calls, because when it stays flat like this, implied volatility gets decreased, and then your premiums on the options end up going down as well, with the stock not really moving. So we want to be careful with that. Obviously, my 145 strike call did not do too well today. It did well early on, but then after AMC remained flat the rest of the day, it definitely decreased in value. But I'm still going to be holding on to that as a lottery ticket. But AMC staying relatively flat was a pretty good sign. It had a lot of bullish momentum. We can see it holding its price point. So every time it tried to dip a little, a lot of the retail investors ended up buying up those small dips, which is a very good sign that AMC is getting a lot of traction and it's getting a lot of movement upwards. And as you can see, it's up 2.5% after hours, which is also a good sign going further into this week. So I think it's a very good time to get into AMC, whether you're buying calls, selling puts, doing call debit spreads, put credit spreads, buying shares, doing all those sort of bullish positions for the short term is definitely going to be a pretty good reward return for AMC stock. If we check out the options summary for AMC, we can see that the premiums for calls have been steadily rising. It rose Friday and then rose again today because a lot of people are getting traction back into this stock. They're buying calls. There's a lot of bullish momentum heading into this stock again. And as we can check out the dominant expirations and strikes, a lot of people are buying these 6/18 expiration date calls for $50 strike. $50 strike, the $60 strike, the $40 strike, the $55 strike. A lot of people are buying between this $50 and $60 strike range, which is pretty good because a lot of people are buying at the money calls, and they're expecting some bullish momentum from this stock. And these calls aren't even that expensive. As you can see, somewhere between like a $50 and $60 call is going to cost you just under $1,000. So if you have that amount of cash, as we can see, you have $13,000 sitting on the sidelines. I'm probably going to be buying some more calls. I have a $145 strike that as a lottery ticket, but I probably will be buying some more calls, maybe a $60 strike for around $600 premium. It's not that much money in comparison to how much buying power I have. So for the smaller investors, please note that I'm not putting too much money more into AMC, as $600 is not that much of my portfolio. But I'm also selling cash secured puts, and that did really well today because, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the options contracts, as AMC remained flat, all the premiums ended up bleeding out in value during the end of the day, which is really good for options sellers. So I may be selling another cash secured put, and I'm eyeballing the $40 strike for July 2nd, and I will be collecting quite a bit of premium on that, almost $500. I may even do something like a $45 strike for almost $800, and that's a lot of premium to be collecting. And remember, selling cash secured puts, you have to have enough collateral to cover the strike price times 100. So in this case, it's going to be $4,500 that you need to put down as collateral. And then if AMC stays above that, you're pretty much going to be making your full profit by expiration date. But of course, the premium can bleed out but before the expiration date, and you can end up closing your position before it expires for a profit, which is what I plan on doing. And selling puts is a lot safer than buying outright shares because you're getting the shares potentially at a lower cost basis. But the downside is your profit is limited, and you're only going to be making the premium as your profit. So if AMC goes to 1,000, you're going to be missing out on all those gains. Whereas the shareholders, if you bought 100 shares outright, you're going to be making a lot of money. So I am holding 100 shares, and I'm pretty optimistic on this stock. I'm pretty much break even, and we will just see where it goes. We will see where AMC goes, but I'm pretty confident there's a lot of bullish momentum, as we can see with the options chain, which is a good indicator going into the week. So I hope that AMC is able to skyrocket within the next week or so. That's about it for this video. If it helped you anyway, please leave a like, comment down below what your thoughts are on AMC, what your positions are, and also consider subscribing if you're new here to the channel. It helps out a lot. Thanks for watching.